Welcome everyone to today's Stay Connected webinar. On behalf of our Get Connected Conference Planning Committee, we'd all like to welcome you and appreciate your time today. Today's featured content is going to be shared by Erika Wibbels, who's with Nebraska Department of Ed with the Healthy Schools program, and she's going to talk about the Walk to Unlock Nebraska project. So we're really excited Erika's able to join us. And then stick around at the end. Stephanie Fednes with Beyond School Bells is going to share about another opportunity that you will definitely be interested in hearing about. So thanks, Erika, for joining us today.
Yes, good afternoon. Thank you for having me. Just sharing my screen. Hopefully you guys can see it. As Kim mentioned, my name is Erika Wibbels. I work for Nebraska Department of Ed with Kim and Jan in that same tier of work. I work with our Healthy Schools grantees who really work to implement the WISC, whole school, whole community, whole child model into their schools, which includes out of school time. And so as a piece of that, we have created Walk to Unlock Nebraska. And so wanting to share that with you guys and share an opportunity for you to participate in it. So without further ado, we'll get started with the presentation. Go ahead. Also, if you have any questions, put them in the chat or save them to the end. We'll have time either way. But Walk to Unlock Nebraska was developed by a request. An old program called Walk Through Nebraska History was created in the 1990s. And it was a partnership between Department of Ed and Department of Health and Human Services and some other entities to increase the focus of physical activity and get students moving their bodies, as well as learning about the history of our state. And since it was no longer being used, it got brought to our department here. You can see the circle on the right side of the screen is our Office of Coordinated Student Support Services. And each of those buckets really help the student to be able to learn and behave. And so we cover all of those. And so this project got brought to our office and said, could you work on this and revamp it with it having to do with physical activity? And could you incorporate some more of those wedges of that whole school, whole community, whole child model? And so we went to the brainstorming table and thought about how to do this and how to make it integrate a little bit more broad beyond history. And so we really wanted to create something that would engage all students. So maybe history is not someone's favorite subject or interest, but we wanted to create various checkpoints that would interest all. And so that's where we created some partnerships and really started collaborating. As you can see on the screen, Nebraska Tourism, Farm Bureau Foundations, Nebraska Ag in the Classroom, Midwest Dairy, Nebraska Game and Park, Nebraska Public Media, and then of course we've still continued to partner with History Nebraska as well. Just providing a good, well-rounded program for the students. So nature, agriculture, history, and also just some things that make kids be like, oh, Nebraska is not that boring, right? I never knew we had these things. So we've really worked to sustain those partnerships and to provide students neat opportunities, which I'll share some about with you as we keep moving. An overview of our program. So this Walk to Unlock program is funded partly through our Healthy School grant. It's a CDC grant that we're a part of, and then partly through the lottery funding 2-year CLC opportunity. So we work with Farm Bureau Foundation on that aspect. So knowing that we have 2 years that we're strongly focusing on really developing this, and so that it can be continue to be utilized in the future. So this year and next year, we'll have 4 trails created, 1 each semester, so spring and fall of each school year. An interactive map goes along the trails so that the students and you teachers can see the progression and interact with lesson content. The physical activity portion of the program is all on site with local physical activity, however the teacher chooses to do that. And we do have a cool conversion calculator I will show you guys in a bit. At each checkpoint, as you accumulate miles, you come along a checkpoint. At each checkpoint, there is grade curricular materials. And so we have it grade banded K2, 3, 5, 6, 8. And so there is lesson content for each of those grades at each checkpoint. It may be a video, it may be a full lesson, it may be a recipe. So just various activities for them to do. And then there's varying subject content. So we have history, agriculture, science, but we also have some of the traditional classroom subjects, you know, with math and language arts and books and those kind of things. Another piece of our Walk to Unlock program is integrating the physical activity into a family and community engagement, which I know that is one of your guys' objectives, is to get some family and community engagement within your programs, as well as a staff wellness. So we like to see programs doing this with students, but also maybe between the teachers. And of course, you wouldn't use the lesson content, but just for a little bit of a challenge to push everyone to move their bodies a little more. Why should we implement Walk to Unlock Nebraska? I talked about the whole school, whole community, whole child connection. We really feature that throughout. Of course, the physical activity is the main base of it, but also nutrition is scattered throughout, partnering with Farm Bureau Foundation and Midwest Dairy. They do a good job of including nutrition into their checkpoints and providing recipes for students to try. We all know that when we eat healthy and we exercise, our mental health is a little bit better. So that's another tier of it. And so we've really tried to look at each of those tiers and integrate them into our program. Walk to Unlock introduces goal setting and creates a team atmosphere within your club. So you can use this at the very base level of, hey guys, our big goal is to complete the trail. Our short-term goal is to hit the next checkpoint, or you can really introduce them into, you know, SMART goals. And hey, we're going to set a goal and we're going to get there by X day, and we know it's measurable and we know it's attainable and that kind of thing. So you can walk them through that, especially as if you have older kids participating in this, they can set some SMART goals on their own about how many miles maybe they want to accumulate on their own, or if they want to do some extra learning beyond what you're providing for them on each of the checkpoints. So a great idea to start goal setting and get that mind frame going in those students. Of course, it enhances students learning about our state history and what we offer in our state. I am originally from South Dakota, came to college in Nebraska and have been here ever since, but I've learned gobs about our state just by being the person who puts the program together and compiling it, and being able to meet very neat people along the way. So very engaging experience for students. And then of course, studies have showed physical activity increases academic performance and reduces negative behavior. Here on our next slide lists several benefits of physical activity, and some of them are based on the body, like strengthening muscles and strong bones and controlling weight, but a lot of them have to do with mental health too. So increasing attention and decision making, reducing anxiety and depression, lowering tension and anger, improving self-esteem, building social skills. And so we know all of those things are so important and help make all of our days a little bit more smooth when the kids are able to regulate those. So you've heard a little bit about it, right? So hey, why not be game and try a new program for your club? So if you were to partake in Walk to Unlock, what do we need to do? Get some momentum going first. So how do we do that? Who do you want to get involved at your school and in your club? Are there teachers that you have on staff that are always energetic and ready for new ideas? Can you somehow get them involved from the get-go? Do you have staff who are interested in health, or even staff that are interested in the state that would be good to bring to the table before you implement? Is there a wellness committee throughout the school district that you could get to be on board and help you with it? Do you have students who, you know, would be a good cheerleader and would get the kids excited? Once you've created a plan and said, yep, we're going to do this, what else can you do to keep momentum going or to get momentum going? Involve media, news stations and radios. They're always looking to fill time, especially with positive stuff with youth. And so let them know what you're doing. Social media posts, if you have your own social media, share that out. We have hashtag Walk to Unlock. We'd love for you to use that. PTO, can your PTO get involved? Do they help with any of the after school time stuff? And if not, this may be a great opportunity for the PTO to get engaged in the after school club and maybe bring a healthy snack or provide incentives, things like that. Promote this at staff meetings and to your administration. Let people know that you're doing this. And then showcase a map for people to be able to follow along. So in this slide, you can see, oh, don't quote me. Megan, was this you? Anyway,
Yeah.
one of our, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So Megan did put all of our freebies. So if you choose to pilot with us, we send you out some freebies along with some support to get you through the trail. But Megan displayed all of this before they started to get kids and different people in the building excited and asking questions. And so great opportunity to be able to engage others who maybe aren't even in your club by just displaying the map or whatnot. Logistics of implementing Walk to Unlock. We are working to provide a worksheet for this because this is something we found. We did a pilot of our Northern Trail this fall and we found this was a struggle. And so for this next trail, there will be a worksheet that helps everyone walk through this and know exactly how to set up your program to be successful. But things to think about are the duration of the program. Do you want it to be an 8-week program? Do you want it to be a 12-week program? Do you want to do it in the summer and hit a checkpoint every day? Program is completely customizable, so you get a pick. So what's that duration look like? And then how many days a week do you want to run the program? Is it once a week? Is it twice a week? Also, what age group are you going to do it with in your club? Are you going to have everyone do it? Are they going to sign up and it's going to be an elective? Talking through some of those questions. Will you do, if you do it as a club, are you doing the physical activity and the lesson portion all together, or will you split that up? What does that look like in your day, and how much time do you have to devote to each? Depending on some of those questions, then will depend on if you want to do a single team or if you want to do a league play. So league play means, hey, I have 30 kids in my club that are going to do this, and I'm going to count X, Y, and Z for physical activity. And so we're going to get to the end of the trail way too quickly if I have all 30 kids add their physical activity together. So league play means I'm going to create 3 teams of 10 students each, and each of those teams will be competing against each other to hit the checkpoints. Now, this does make lesson content a little bit tricky because one of your teams may hit a checkpoint before the other. And so you kind of just have to average it out and say, here's when we're going to learn about this content once the first team gets to the checkpoint, or every Thursday or whatever, we're going to learn about the content, whether all 3 teams or as many teams that you have had hit that checkpoint. So totally doable, but just another decision for you guys to make and customize. And then do you want to have any field trips? So checking out the trail beforehand and seeing where it goes. Can you take a field trip, or can you bring a guest speaker in? And then family integration. How do you want to get the family engaged and involved? We do here on the screen, you can see there's a bonus miles tracker sheet. So we provide this, they can take it home and do physical activity at home, with their families and bring it in. Different clubs have done different things with that. And so one club did a family night at the beginning and brought parents in and got everyone excited. And they had a walk to start. So everyone started with a walk and they got some miles on their trail right away. So lots of different things you can do to integrate the family. Once you've decided you're going to do it, you've got momentum going, you need to get onto our website, walk, and it's the number 2 unlock.ne.gov. If you scan that, if you have your phone, if you scan that, that will take you to our website. But you're going to first need to sign up and create a team. And with that team, you're going to need a team name. So if you want the kids to have buy-in, or if you're doing league play and you're having 3 to 5 different teams or however many you have, and each team gets to pick their own name, that conversation needs to happen before you sign up. And then once you've signed up, you want to keep momentum going. You want kids to be excited and show their families their progress. And so we have a team progress page. And here you're seeing each team has their own distinct link. And so you see, if you click the link and share that out in Remind or however you communicate with the parents, they can follow their team. And they can show their parents where they went. So you can see here, my team Wibbels, we've only went a few miles. You can see the red. But once we've traveled, this green trail turns red. And so the kids can really visually see what they've done. They also can then click on the links and get the little overview portion, and so that they can tell their parents and reteach their parents what they learned. And so really good way to keep momentum going as you're traveling along. So we've got signed up, we have parents traveling along. Now we need to add some miles because everyone's excited and logging miles. Logging miles, we've got this great calculator, which makes it super easy. So on the right side, you can see the calculator. On the left side, it's just a manual input. So let's say you took the kids to the track and they all walked a mile. And so you could, and you had 10 kids, you could put in 10 miles, 10 miles here. You could click log miles and it's added. But let's say you took the kids to the gym and you did basketball with them for the day. And so I have a pop-up on my screen. I don't know if you have a pop-up on your screen. They did basketball, and so you go and find the basketball activity. You say how long they did it for. So they did it for 15 minutes and you had 20 kids, you add how many kids, and it will automatically calculate those miles for you to be able to do that. So it's really quick and seamless. We do have a physical activity chart that I created this fall. It was a request from one of our pilots because they said, well, we know we have 20 miles to get to the next checkpoint and the kids want to know what they need to do to get there. So they wanted to know what activity could they do to get those 20 miles. So I do have that piece too. And if you want your students to do some math and engage in activity that way, you definitely can do that. So, but otherwise, really quick, really seamless for you teachers to log the miles so it's not tedious, because we knew that could be a barrier. We've now logged some miles, and let's say we hit our first checkpoint. And so this is what a checkpoint is going to look like. You're going to have your title. It always will show the city or town, the county it's in, a little overview of your checkpoint, and then it has a Google map associated with it. So you can click on that and compare it to where you guys are at, or even, you know, see how long of a drive it would be. However you want to use Google Map there as a learning tool. And it has population. The students, O'Neill was our very first pilot last summer, and they really wanted to compare their community to every community they hit. And so we're trying to do as many opportunities for them to compare that on the map, and then as well as population. And then each checkpoint has all of these resources here, and each resource will vary depending on our partner, but all of them will have a Go Noodle activity, which the kids have loved, anywhere from 2 to 5 minute activity there. And then there's videos, or maybe there's a book or a lesson. So it really just depends what is provided based on our partner there. You've hit some checkpoints, and now you're in our pilot, and we asked for some evaluation so we can tweak this and get it perfect for future use. And so it's time to do some evaluations. With our pilots, we do need a student pre and post survey evaluation. The survey is about 10 questions long. It's pretty seamless. We can provide it to you a paper copy or electronically, whatever works best for you guys. And then we do ask for some checkpoint evaluation and some post-program evaluation. And so this is what our checkpoint evaluation has looked like before. We've got comments that it's a bit tedious and too much to do it after each checkpoint. And so we're revamping that for our next trail to do a survey like this once you've gone through 25, 50, 75%, and 90% of the trail. So that way you can combine some of your feedback together and it's a little less cumbersome for you guys. Another thing on our Walk to Unlock website is partner resources and also frequently asked questions. And there's a lot of tutorials. I'm not going to go into the frequently asked questions. You can explore that. But real quick, partner resources. There's a lot of neat things that our partners provide that aren't within a certain checkpoint. And so, for instance, Midwest Dairy has Adopt a Cow. Nebraska Games and Parks has trunk rentals for free. Nebraska Agriculture in the Classroom has an Ag Pen Pal. Department of Ed has Harvest of the Month. So those are just a few. You can get on that page and look. And then also we have some that aren't associated with our partners, but just resources for our program. So there's virtual field trips you can utilize. Those are just links, and then you'll need to sign up through that organization. So for instance, Hastings Museum has a virtual field trip. It's listed there, but you would need to sign up with them to be able to access that. There's book suggestions, and then we have other startup materials. So we have parent letters, both in Spanish and English. We have a certificate completions for the students to hand out and celebrate at the end. We have a bonus mile tracker sheet, which you saw on a previous screen, and our physical activity conversion chart. So lots of different resources for you to utilize. And the great thing is if you're in the pilot and I'm missing something, I'm very much game. You heard we're making some changes. And so very much game to make changes as we go and try to help you a lot along the route. A quick plug from our very first pilot. Deb did this last summer and they did it every day. The Northern Trail is almost 1,200 miles. So it is a good chunk of miles and time consuming. Our next trail, the Eastern Sprint, is about 280 miles. So far less miles, which most likely would mean you would want to create some teams unless you're only having a smaller group of kids participate. But both trails have over 20 checkpoints. And so what we've done with the Eastern Trail, with it being shorter, is we've put the checkpoints more like 10 to 15 miles apart compared to the Northern Trail, where they're more about 30 to 45 miles. One chunk is more like 60 miles. So the Northern Trail, you know, you may have to accumulate a lot more miles before you hit a checkpoint, where this new Eastern one checkpoints will be happening pretty frequently. So that was just kind of a side squirrel moment, sorry, but quick little promo from Deb, if you know Deb in O'Neill. But she said the kids were always so excited and engaged. They kept the map. You can see the map behind the students. So they kept that up. And every morning, instead of asking, what are we going to eat? It was, where are we going to go? Show us on the map. And so they were always excited to learn. And she's like, I really feel like that was a success. We could get them away from focusing on food and the same old monotonous to what's happening in our program. And then teacher perks. So she said the lesson prep was super easy. Everything was spelled out and put there. And then she really enjoyed learning something new about Nebraska that she didn't know. She said the kids really enjoyed the physical activity movement parts. If you are interested, here is a flyer. There is that QR code to sign up. Our Eastern Trail will be ready mid-February. So we're working to finish up all of our checkpoints and square everything away with our partners before we publish that out. So if you're interested, it will be ready mid-February. You wouldn't have to start at mid-February if you want to wait till it gets warmer and start mid-March and do March through May. We just ask that you would have it done this semester so that we can get feedback from the pilot and make those changes for the future. But otherwise, if you are interested in doing either of the trails during the summer and have questions or concerns, the program will be free to utilize from here on out. The perks of the pilot is we give you a provided map that's pretty nice to track, and we give you some freebies, and then we have that one-on-one assistance to help you launch it and do the program successfully. So that's the perks of doing it through the pilot versus just doing it on your own. But any questions?
Erika, did you, maybe you answered this question already, but is there a deadline for signing up to participate?
Great
Can you
question.
sign up anytime?
Great question. To participate in the pilot, I need you to sign up by the beginning of February. That first, I don't have the, let me check my calendar real quick. It's that day, that week, that January and February mesh by the end of that week. So that February 3rd, if you want to sign up for the pilot, February 3rd deadline, that way, because we can get you your stuff ordered and sent to you guys to start, like your map and your goodies and that kind of thing. So February 3rd deadline. Thanks for mentioning that, Kim. Anything else? Well, I appreciate you guys listening, and we're excited to launch this new trail. So if it doesn't work this semester, just know that it will be out there for you guys to utilize whenever you're ready. It's a free resource. So
what a fun, exciting project. And I love that all of the curriculum components that you've included. It's just so well planned, and a great way to learn about Nebraska and be physically active. So
yeah,
you've got it all.
That's right. We got it all. Thanks, Kim.
Erika, and thanks for your time today. We'll post this recording on our Stay Connected website with some other resources Erika sent. So feel free to let others know about the program or contact Erika. She's always very happy to share her excitement with others. So thanks, Erika. We are really happy to be able to share about another opportunity now. Stephanie, I'll let you introduce yourself and talk about your exciting project that you are ready to embark on.
Thanks, Kim. My name is Stephanie Vadnais. I am with Beyond School Bells, and I am excited to share with you about an opportunity coming up at the beginning of March. Beyond School Bells, in partnership with the Nebraska Department of Education and Nebraska Extension, is excited to host what we are affectionately calling an unconference gathering to creatively engage key stakeholders and practitioners in helping to imagine the future of after school and summer. And we need you there to make that happen. So you are invited to the Nebraska Expanded Learning Community Innovation Invitational. I will share the link to the website in the chat. This is taking place March 7th through the 9th at UNL's Innovation Campus in Lincoln. You can expect to engage in hands-on learning experiences, pitch creative ideas, and interact with colleagues to build on the already strong foundation that we have in Nebraska for high quality after school and summer programs. I know you're all doing such amazing work already, and truly this will be an opportunity for you all to share what you're doing with each other, so we can just continue to build. We know that most folks are not going to be able to stay all 3 days. That's a lot to ask. So we'll be carving out blocks of time for participants to engage in subject matter like after school and summer programming innovations, learning through play and hands-on activities, full service community schools, mentoring, career exploration, and then just kind of some overarching themes of our time together are going to be innovation, purpose, and hope for our youth. The primary audience of the first day and a half is after school and program practitioners, and then the second day and a half is a little more focused on program partners, stakeholders, and policymakers. And registration is now open through that link. We can't wait to see you there. If you follow that link, that is where updated information is going to be as we have a more settled agenda. So keep checking that after you register, but go ahead and get registered. The conference is free. Most meals will be covered by Beyond School Bells. You'll just need to cover your travel and hotel if that's needed for you. So if you have any questions, I know Jennifer Jones's email is on that website. I'll put my email in the chat as well. But if anyone has any questions right now, feel free. I can stay. I know we're at 12:30, so but we are so excited. It's going to be a really fun time, and we hope to see many of you there.
Thanks, Stephanie. Thanks for joining us and for sharing about that opportunity as well. We're excited to learn more about it. The first ever, right? So this will be an exciting project to be involved in. Thank you. Thanks for all your work. We appreciate it. Well, I'm looking at the chat. I don't see that anyone has any more questions for Erika or Stephanie, so we'll go ahead and let you go, but I wanted you to know that our next Stay Connected is February 2nd, and we have Ann Alston from the Nebraska Arts Council who will be sharing about grant opportunities, arts field trips, visiting artists. So that'd be really exciting. We know all of you like to incorporate art into your programs. February 2nd at noon. So thank you for your time today. I hope everybody's safe and warm and has somebody to go out and do your shoveling for you. You don't have to do that. I know you're all buried in snow today. So thank you. Nice to see you today. Thanks, Erika. Appreciate it.